Have you ever been in a room full of people and felt like you were thinking 3 steps ahead of everyone else? But instead of feeling proud, you just felt tired, misunderstood, even alone? Being highly intelligent isn't always what it's cracked up to be. It's not just straight A's or solving puzzles faster than anyone else. It's lying awake at night, thinking too much. It's struggling to connect, because your thoughts move in layers most people don't even notice. It's having so many tabs open in your mind, you forget which one was supposed to be fun. And if you've ever felt that way, you're not broken, you're not strange, you're just wired differently. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 real struggles that highly intelligent people deal with, not to glorify them, but to show you that you're not alone if you've experienced them too. These aren't things we usually talk about out loud, because let's be honest, when you're seen as the smart one, people expect you to have it all figured out. But guess what? You don't have to. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked the video, so you can help me continue spreading knowledge. If you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and activate the bell so you don't miss any future videos on Stoicism and self-improvement. All right, let's talk about what it really feels like to live inside a highly intelligent mind. Number 1, overthinking everything. It starts with something small, like choosing where to eat. Pizza, Thai, maybe something healthy. And before you know it, you're calculating sodium levels, thinking about long-term dietary impacts, and wondering if this one choice reflects your self-discipline or lack of it. Yeah, it's exhausting. Overthinking isn't just a habit for highly intelligent people. It's almost a default setting. Your brain's always on, always analyzing, always evaluating every angle. It's like you've got a full-blown debate team living rent-free in your head, and they never shut up. What should be a simple yes or no becomes a 12-tab mental rabbit hole. Every action has implications. Every decision becomes a potential failure or triumph. And it's not just about choices either. Someone texts K. Now your brain's reviewing every conversation you've ever had with them, double-checking if they're mad, if you said something wrong, or if it's just a lowercase k. You replay conversations from days ago, dissecting tone, body language, and word choice like a forensic investigator. It's funny, but it's also tiring. Mentally, emotionally, even physically. And when people say, just stop overthinking, you kind of want to laugh because they don't get it. Your brain doesn't have an off switch. It's not a faucet, it's a flood. But here's the thing. That same brain that spirals also sees solutions others miss. It catches patterns. It anticipates outcomes. It cares, sometimes too much, but deeply. So while it's not always easy to live with that kind of mind, it's also a gift. A wild, complicated, beautiful gift. You just need to learn when to step back from the noise and give your mind space to breathe. And hey, tell me in the comments, have you ever spiraled into overthinking something really small? Like, so small. It was almost embarrassing. You're definitely not alone. Number 2, feeling isolated or misunderstood. It's weird, isn't it? You can be surrounded by people, smiling, laughing, talking, and still feel completely disconnected. Highly intelligent people often live in a world that others can't quite access. Your thoughts go deeper, your questions are bigger. Your conversations feel like they're always skating on the surface when you crave depth. And that gap between what's going on in your head and what people are willing or able to engage with can feel incredibly lonely. It's not that you're better than anyone. It's that you experience things differently. You notice patterns others don't. You question assumptions most people never even think about. And you're constantly observing things that others miss entirely, which makes it hard to feel truly gotten. Ever been in a conversation and held back from sharing your full thought? Because you knew it would either confuse people or just be brushed off like you think too much. Yeah, that hurts. Or maybe you've tried connecting with someone, but the conversation stays stuck at small talk. And while others might enjoy it, you feel like you're dying inside, like your brain is craving depth, meaning substance. And let's not forget the labels. You're too intense. You make everything complicated. You're intimidating, but here's the truth, you're not too much. They're just not your people. You deserve connections where you don't have to shrink yourself, where your curiosity is welcomed, not ridiculed, where your complexity is seen as fascinating, not frustrating. It's not always easy to find those people, but they exist. And the best part, when you do find them, the conversations feel like home. So if you've ever felt out of place, not because you're rude or distant, but because your brain just works differently, tell me in the comments, have you ever felt completely misunderstood, even by people close to you? I'd love to hear how you deal with that feeling. You're definitely not alone in that one either. Number 3, high standards, perfectionism. Here's the thing about being highly intelligent. You don't just want things to be done right, you need them to be. And not just good enough right, but perfect. Because when your brain can see all the ways something could be improved, it's almost impossible to settle for anything less. That's the gift. And the curse. You might spend hours tweaking something most people wouldn't even notice, fixing a slide deck no one really cares about, rewriting a message 10 times because the tone has to be just right, or cleaning a room so thoroughly it looks like it belongs in a museum, only to feel it's still not quite there. You're not trying to be obsessive, you just see the details, and those details matter to you, but that level of precision doesn't just stay focused on tasks, it turns inward too. You hold yourself to the same ridiculously high standards. You beat yourself up over tiny mistakes. You obsess over what you should have said or done or predicted. And when others don't meet those same standards, frustration kicks in. Not because you think you're better, but because your brain naturally expects more. You might struggle to delegate because you already know it'll be faster if you just do it yourself. You might avoid starting something because you're terrified it won't turn out perfectly. It's exhausting. And the worst part, most people don't see it. From the outside, it looks like you're just driven or hard-working. But on the inside, it can feel like you're constantly chasing a finish line that keeps moving. So here's your reminder. Perfection is a moving target. Chasing it will drain you. Aim for excellence, but give yourself room to be human. Sometimes a done is better than flawless. And sometimes your version of 70% is someone else's 100%. Let that sink in for a second. Tell me in the comments, do you ever feel paralyzed by your own high standards? Like you'd rather not start something than risk it not being perfect? If that's you, you're definitely not the only one. Number 4, difficult romantic relationships. Let's talk about love. Because being highly intelligent makes that complicated too. You'd think that a sharp mind would help you build better relationships, more awareness, deeper insights, emotional understanding. But the truth is, it can make things messier, because for highly intelligent people, love isn't just about chemistry, it's about connection on every level: mental, emotional, spiritual. Surface level attraction? Yeah. It fades real quick when the conversation gets boring. You crave deep talks, like 2 a.m. existential stuff, not "what are you doing" texts. You want to explore meaning, purpose, future visions, not just gossip or casual small talk. But most people aren't wired for that kind of intensity. They don't want to debate moral frameworks while watching Netflix. They don't want their every sentence gently analyzed and unpacked, and it's not their fault. But it makes you feel like you're too much, too deep, too intense, too analytical. You might find yourself getting stuck in your own head, overthinking every interaction, wondering what they meant when they said that thing, replaying conversations, trying to detect hidden meanings. And let's be real, you might unintentionally intimidate people, not because you try to, but because your ability to read between the lines can feel unsettling. You notice when something's off before they even realize it themselves. Sometimes you over-intellectualize your feelings, trying to solve them instead of just feeling them. Love isn't a puzzle to be cracked, but your brain still wants to treat it like one. You want depth and honesty, but you also fear being misunderstood, or worse, being truly seen and rejected. It's complicated, but here's the upside. When you do find someone who can meet you there, who enjoys the way your mind works, not just tolerates it, the connection can be magical, deep, honest, life-changing. So don't settle. Don't dull your shine to be easier to love. The right person won't be overwhelmed by your complexity. They'll be enchanted by it. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like your intelligence made dating harder? I'm really curious to hear your experience with this one. You deserve love that celebrates the way you think, not one that tries to tame it. Number 5, existential anxiety. You ever just be sitting there doing something totally normal, like folding laundry or brushing your teeth, and suddenly think, what's the point of any of this? Yeah, welcome to the beautiful nightmare. That is existential anxiety. For highly intelligent people, it's not just about what happens in life. It's about why. Why are we here? What's the purpose? What does it all mean? And what if it means nothing? Most people can brush off those thoughts, but your brain won't let them go. It keeps pulling the thread, unraveling ideas until you're neck deep in questions with no solid answers. And honestly, it's exhausting. You might find yourself overanalyzing not just your own life, but existence itself, reading too much into every choice, questioning if your job matters, if your relationships are meaningful, if your life is meaningful, and don't even get started on death. You think about it more than you'd like to admit, not in a morbid way necessarily, but in a what comes next kind of way, or worse. What if nothing comes next? These thoughts aren't just rare passing clouds, they're constant background noise. And while they can lead to profound insights, they can also steal your peace. The tricky part is, you might not even talk about it, because when you do, people either get uncomfortable or tell you to stop thinking so much. But how? Do you stop something that's so deeply wired into you? Here's the thing. Existential questions aren't signs of weakness. They're a byproduct of a mind that seeks truth, a mind that's not satisfied with just going through the motions. You want more than comfort. You want meaning. You don't just want to live. You want to understand life while you're living it. That's heavy and real. and totally valid, but here's a gentle reminder. You don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes peace comes not from solving the questions, but from learning to sit with them. Meaning isn't always found in one big revelation. Sometimes it's built moment by moment, conversation by conversation, choice by choice. Tell me in the comments, do you ever get caught in that spiral of questioning everything? What helps you feel grounded when your mind won't stop spinning? You're not weird for thinking about the big stuff. You're just aware. And that awareness, while overwhelming, can also be a beautiful part of being human. Number 6, hard time enjoying simple things. Okay, be honest for a second. Have you ever tried to just relax, watch a light-hearted show or go to a casual hangout and felt bored out of your mind? Like everyone else seems to be having fun, laughing, vibing, living in the moment, and you're sitting there thinking, what's the underlying message here? Why are they even doing that? Is this supposed to be fun? Yeah, if that's you, you're not broken. You just have a brain that craves stimulation, and sometimes the simple stuff just doesn't hit the same. For highly intelligent people, the ordinary can feel, well, underwhelming. Your mind is used to jumping from idea to idea, exploring new concepts, challenging itself. So when life slows down, when it's just a sunset or a sitcom or a walk with no destination, your brain starts itching for something more. It's not that you don't want to enjoy these things, it's that your mind isn't wired to rest easily. Even when you're relaxing, your brain might still be running through unfinished tasks, replaying conversations, or planning the next 5 years of your life. It's kind of like trying to watch a movie while someone's giving a TED talk in your head at the same time. You might even feel guilty when you're not being productive, as if enjoyment needs to be earned or somehow useful. And yet you need those simple moments, because while your mind is brilliant, it's also fragile when overstimulated. You weren't built to be on all the time. The truth is, learning to enjoy the simple things is a skill. It's the art of being present, letting the world be what it is, without dissecting it. Start small. Try noticing textures, colors, sounds. Let yourself just be without needing it to mean something. Not everything has to be productive or profound. Sometimes the most intelligent thing you can do is allow yourself to enjoy something just because, and hey, don't beat yourself up if a movie bores you or a party feels like work. You're not too serious. You're just someone whose mind naturally seeks depth, and that's okay. Tell me in the comments, do you ever struggle to enjoy things that seem easy for everyone else? What's something simple you wish you could enjoy more? Your brain is a powerful tool, but even the most powerful machines need to power down. Sometimes. Number 7, people expect you to know everything. There's something that happens when people realize you're smart. They start expecting you to have the answers, all the time. Got a tricky problem at work? Ask you. Weird fact. No one can remember. Ask you. Life advice, career decisions, fixing someone's emotional baggage from 2009? Yep, still you. And sure, at first it can feel kind of flattering, like, wow, they really trust my brain. But over time, it becomes a lot of pressure, because suddenly you're not allowed to say, I don't know. Or worse, if you do say it, people look at you like you've let them down. It's like being put on an invisible pedestal, and that thing's wobbly, really wobbly. What people don't see is that being intelligent doesn't make you a walking encyclopedia. You're curious, yes. You're capable, sure, but you're still human, and being expected to perform intelligence constantly, that's exhausting. You start second-guessing yourself, feeling like you have to give a good answer, even when you're unsure. You might even over-explain or overthink responses just to make sure you don't sound like you're slipping. And heaven forbid you actually make a mistake. People are shocked, like, wait, you messed up? Yup, you did. Because that's what people do. The worst part is, you can start internalizing it, believing that your worth is your brain, that if you don't always know, you somehow don't deserve the respect, the attention, the trust. But intelligence isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing how to ask the right questions. It's being okay with not knowing and still being willing to learn. That's real wisdom. So here's your permission to shrug your shoulders and say, I don't know, but I'd love to figure it out. You don't owe anyone a genius moment on command. You don't have to carry the intellectual weight of the room on your back. Sometimes letting go of that pressure is the smartest thing you'll do all day. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like people expect you to always be on? How do you handle the pressure to have it all figured out? Seriously, let's talk about it. Number 8, mental restlessness. You know that feeling where your body is still, but your mind is doing cartwheels like you're lying in bed. Lights off, silence all around. But inside your head, it's chaos. That's mental restlessness. And if you're a highly intelligent person, you probably know it way too well. Your brain doesn't shut up, ever. It's constantly processing, analyzing, imagining, worrying, planning, sometimes all at once. And it doesn't care what time it is. 3 a.m.? Perfect time to revisit that awkward conversation from 5 years ago, or suddenly feel the urge to learn about ancient Egyptian astronomy, or question whether you're living up to your full potential. It's like your mind is stuck in high gear and nobody gave you a brake pedal. Even when things are calm externally, your brain is still racing internally. You might look peaceful from the outside, but up top, it's a hurricane of thoughts. And here's the tricky part. It's not all bad, because that same restlessness is also your source of creativity, problem-solving, insight. It's what makes you you. But when it goes unchecked, it can lead to burnout, anxiety, exhaustion, that tired but wired feeling where your brain is buzzing and your body is begging for sleep. You might struggle with meditation, not because you don't want peace, but because your mind refuses to cooperate. Or maybe you overfill your days with tasks, not out of ambition, but because slowing down feels uncomfortable. Stillness doesn't feel natural. It feels foreign, almost wrong. But here's something to consider. Your brain isn't broken, it just needs training. Just like a high-performance engine needs fine-tuning. Your mind needs intentional rest, not scrolling, not multitasking, actual rest. Moments where you pause, breathe, and let things be. That doesn't mean you shut your brain off, just that you stop trying to control it, because sometimes the smartest minds just need silence, not answers. Tell me in the comments, do you struggle with this constant hum in your head too? What helps you find stillness when your mind won't slow down? You're not alone in this, and there's nothing wrong with the way your mind works. It just might need a little more compassion and space. So, if any of these struggles hit a little too close to home, I want you to know something important. You're not broken, you're not too much, and you're definitely not alone. Having a highly intelligent mind is a powerful thing, but it doesn't always feel that way. It can be isolating, overwhelming, even exhausting at times. But here's the other side of it. That same mind that overthinks and overanalyzes is also capable of deep empathy, insight, and incredible creativity. You just experience the world differently, and that's not a flaw. That's a superpower, with a few side effects. Maybe you don't fit in easily. Maybe you ask too many questions. Maybe you feel like you're always thinking. But that's what makes you, the key. Start treating your mind like the gift it is, with gentleness, patience, and care. Let yourself slow down without guilt. Allow imperfection. Connect with people who see you, not just admire your intellect. And hey, if this video made you feel understood, even just a little, if you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss future insights on Stoicism and self-improvement. Your support really helps me keep creating content that matters, and I'd love to keep this conversation going. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 8 struggles resonated with you the most? Let's share stories, learn from each other, and remind ourselves we're all just trying to figure it out, one thought at a time. Thanks for watching, truly.